Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Winding and Racing. This morning, big changes are happening to Rallybug. Got to pull this old seat out, make new seat mounts for the new ones. We got this guy, and then the one that's going to come out of Rallybug. A friend of ours donated these tail lights, which will be going on to these fenders now. Yesterday I did a little body work on this guy. This is a relatively clean body, which is surprising in the condition that it came to me. And if any of you haven't been to my YouTube profile and looked at the Rallybug slideshow to see the condition of this bug and all the work that we put into it to get it to the condition that it's in today. I mean, it was basically a bunch of VW parts on the back of a flatbed getting dumped off in our yard. And we put a car together out of it. All the chassis and all that. So the story is in the slideshow. Go ahead and check that out. But I'm going to start out today. I got some prep work to do. As far as assembling what I need to. This was some tubing that I bent, I think for the golf cart project. And it's just been sitting here. And if you can see how I did this mount, I'm going to mimic this on the other side and use the tubing that I already got bent. So I got a little cutting to do on there. I'll get that all prepped. And I got to make some tabs. The idea with this flat bar is that I'd be able to adjust it, but I'm just going to set these seats all the way back to the bar here. And so I got to make up 8 tabs out of the material I have there. So I'm going to get that all done, and then I'll bring you back when I'm actually doing some welding and more exciting stuff. Cutting and grinding is not the most exciting stuff, so I usually end up deleting that when I do edit the videos. So I'll get all that work done and bring you all back when I start assembling stuff, and it'll be much funner to watch. So I'll see you in a bit. Well, welcome back, guys. So what I did, I made the pieces of tubing I needed right here, the little pedestals and these runners to mimic what I did here. Now, I also made some tabs which I bolted to the bottom of the seat, and the difference in the width of this seat from the one that came out of it is well, what it's doing is throwing things off. And what I want to do, instead of trying to force this down in there and crunch this seat, as you can see, it's not fitting in here. So basically what has to happen is I gotta lift this seat up. Now, a few weeks ago, my son and I reworked the gate, and we ended up with some extra material here. This is 14 gauge, which is pretty thick, 1x2. And what I'm gonna do is cut and weld some of the 1x2 on top of this 1.5" round tubing there, which will bring that seat up. And then wherever these tabs might fall, as you can see, they're not even making it to the tubing there. Wherever they might fall, then I can weld it to the rectangular 1x2. And so that's going to lift it up about 1 inch, well, exactly 1 inch, and get it up out of the way. If this was up 1 inch higher, that's about 1 inch, goes in there just fine. Now, because I didn't want to change any of the framework, of course. The only thing, I'm a pretty tall guy, and hope I don't knock my noggin on there, but I'm going to go ahead and cut those pieces, set them in there, and get this seat tacked in there for you guys to take a look at it and see how that comes out, because as it is right now, those seats don't really seem to be fitting what I did previously. But we're fabricators and we make stuff work. So I'm going to do a little bit more work, and bring you guys back, and hopefully the seats are fitting in there just fine, because I really don't want to cut out pieces of that chassis and re-bend it. I mean, I was thinking I could move this back, and this to cut that out and put a bit, but I'm just not going to do all that. That's too much work, when basically all I really need to do is use some old wrought iron steel there and elevate the seat a little bit. Like I said, I hope it doesn't knock my noggin, but we'll see. So I'm going to come on back after I do this little bit of fabrication, and we'll see how that works. So guys, I went ahead and I cleaned up some of that 1x2 tubing, and I just tacked things in here for now. The seat is mounted just by tacks, and well, let's test drive it. Let's see. My main concern, of course, is whether I'm going to fit in it or not. So this is the first time. I got a few inches there. As long as I'm strapped in here, I think I'm going to be fine. This is going to work out just fine. So I'm going to mimic what I did on this side over here, and then we'll have two seats mounted. There's actually a little bit of room right there, so just elevating it that 1 inch made all the difference in the world. We're good. I'm going to get back to work. Maybe I'll have a sandwich first. It's about lunchtime. So I'll see you guys in a bit. That's interesting. Something just happened to my welder. Alright. Guess I'm doing a little work. Well guys, quite honestly, I've had this welder for about a year now, and I've been very happy with it. I mean, it runs a beautiful bead, but you know, today it started acting a little funny, and well, let's take a look at this. Apparently we were not, and maybe never, getting a good connection in here. I'm going to try to clean this up and reattach this and switch out the tip. But this is all kind of a surprise to me. I mean, here I am, another half an hour worth of work, and I would have had that other seat mounted, but looks like I might be spending a little time working on this. So I'm gonna try to fix my welder today, and I'm planning on working on this again tomorrow. That was the plan, but I'm gonna call this video where it is for today. So let's go over what we did. We tried to mount the seat in the original location, which was down on these runners here. I made all the tabs today, but the seat being wider than the one that came out of it, it didn't want to settle down into spots. So we took some 1x2 14 gauge and lifted everything up an inch, which frankly, you know, it's comfortable, works perfectly. So that's where they're gonna stay. And I go to mimic the other side, and my welder takes a dump on me. So I'm gonna have to work on the welder and get it ready for tomorrow. Got the tabs all made up, got the framework ready to get welded in there. I'm sorry I didn't get the other seat in today, but I'm gonna have to fix my tools. Obviously my welder, my God, it was burning all the way back up into here. This is where the power attachment goes. This is the switch. Hope I didn't screw that up taking it apart. Don't want to lose that spring. So I'm gonna, wow, I just noticed this. I mean, it even melted in here. So guys, that's it for today. I'll get my welder fixed, and we'll be back on it. But yeah, I don't know what to say. That welder's been just a beautiful welder all this time, and then all of a sudden it takes a dump on me. So I'm gonna fix that. Like and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and comment. Maybe you guys have had similar problems with these welders. Let me know. But that's it. I'll be back tomorrow for you guys, and we'll get more work done. Have a great day, everyone.